I 39M resent my 38F stay-at-home wife. My wife has been a stay-at-home mom for the past 14 years. She went back to work last year 2022. At the beginning of this year 2023 she decided to reduce her hours and I said fine, do whatever you need to do. Well, she reduced her hours to 0. Last I checked 0 hours meant that you quit your job, but what do I know? She tells me she has a job. At the same time my wife decided to diagnose herself with depression. Not depression but depression, she refuses to even say it right. She also decides to completely stop driving due to her anxiety. So to say I was blindsided was an understatement. We did the couples counseling for a few years prior to COVID and things were good. Now when I say you might want to get back into therapy, she made it clear it doesn't work. And that I need therapy since I'm an asshole. In the middle of all this she made it clear that I didn't do anything at home and that I need to step up at home. Well, I was working from home, but since COVID is now over I am back in the office and out of the house 10-12 hours a day. I find it hard to do laundry or take the kids to school from my desk. I also do not have the privilege of getting the kids on the bus at 8 a.m. and be home to get them off the bus at 3. I made it clear I can support the morning but not the afternoon, and I found out she wants me home both sides now. So yeah, my wife has anxiety stopping her from driving. She has depression she refuses to get help for. She has a job that she now works 0 hours a week and somehow I need to do more work at home to make her happy. I really tried to talk to her about this but she just chooses to change the subject to how her job is harder than yours and men don't do enough for her around the house. I even got forced to do all the food shopping since she won't leave the house. So I go to Walmart twice a week and it is 5 minutes from the house. I drive the kids to all the programs she signed them up for and I cook dinner 4 nights a week. I feel taken advantage of by someone who doesn't understand that doing laundry twice a week isn't a $30K a year job. Yes, she puts the kids on the bus, but now that she reduced her hours to 0 I get told she has a job and takes care of the house and kids on her own. So can I forcibly get her to get a different job? This entire I can't drive with anxiety but help does not help is driving me mad. Honestly, I'm ready to make my job 0 hours since work keeps getting in the way of everything I need to do at the house. Unfortunately, my kids like food and my wife loves the internet, so if I quit the merry-go-round stops. Yes, you can force her to get a job by making her single again. I'm sorry, but the depression part made me lol. Sounds like she's read and internalized some dumb stuff online. I would say that having a mental illness where you can't do anything but refusing to even get it diagnosed is grounds for divorce. Alternative solution. Tell her why you feel this way and that you can no longer sustain a non-working spouse. That she must either change paths or lose you as a partner. I know a word similar to depression. It's divorce. Save yourself and your children the struggle of growing up with someone like her. Fiancé, 24F, left me, 23M, 4 months before the wedding. My fiancé, 24F, left me, 23M, 4 months before our wedding and I am in complete shambles. She had been distant for about 3 weeks leading up to the breakup, so I thought I would ask her if something was wrong on Christmas Eve. At first she claimed she thought everything was normal, but after further conversation she broke down and told me she didn't know if she wanted to do this anymore. We had been together since we were 16 years old and always had our up and downs but have been generally happy the last 2 years with minimal fighting. When I tried to question what I could do to try to fix it, she said there was no fixing it and it would be difficult to come back from this. Mind you, when ending things she told me that our relationship wasn't toxic at all and that it had nothing to do with how I treat her. She simply fell out of love with me. A few weeks after, I found out she had been talking to another guy behind my back for about 3 months before the breakup. I'm honestly not really sure how to feel about everything. I feel like I was robbed of my youth, college years, and this has just been a complete blow to my self-esteem. I truthfully never expected her to be one to do this, so I feel like I almost have no idea who the real her is. Does anyone have any suggestions with coping with something like this? All my friends think I'm doing fine with it, but I feel like I am going crazy inside. People change a lot between 16 and 25. My guess is you two share many firsts. When it ends, it's difficult but not unexpected when a relationship starts at such a young age. I feel like I was robbed of my youth. You are still very young. Give yourself some time to regroup and be open to a future with someone else. Speculating. She started talking to the other guy as a passive way to not get married. She couldn't face the decision head-on, so she sabotaged it. Don't take any of it personally. You're both so young. Try not to isolate yourself. Keep seeing your friends. Exercise is better than alcohol. I feel like I was robbed of my youth. Why? You became adults together, made a lot of lasting experiences and had quite some wonderful time with each other. That is something no one can ever take from you. Yes, it wasn't the happily ever after story you might have dreamt of, but that is something you'll always have to expect in a relationship. Especially in one so early in your life. You both changed in those 7 years a lot. Cherish what you had, grieve for what you've lost, and then find someone new. But never think that those years with her robbed you of something. When things don't work out with him, she will come back saying how much she misses you and now realizes you are the one she loves and wants to be with. That guy was just a friend. Don't fall for it. You weren't robbed. You took a risk and hoped for the best. You weren't robbed because all this time, each step of the way you chose her, and the time you spent with her. You two breaking up doesn't invalidate how you felt all these years. You were not misled the whole time. You made your choice. Of course now it sucks. But everything you've been through was your choice. It was taken from you, it was offered. You didn't do anything wrong, and there isn't always a fight or good reason. Sometimes, feelings fade away and relationships that long, especially when young, are hard to break off. Do not torment yourself over why and details. Reality is, she fell out of love and wasn't strong enough to try and work it out. 36M. I'm getting severe pushback from my significant other, 34F. When it's time to pay the bill. I've been dating my significant other for nearly a year now. An expectation had been set that I pay for every meal when we dine out to eat. This has been going on for around 5-6 months, and I finally had to say something about it. I kindly brought up that it would be nice if the expectation wasn't there for me to pay for her and I 100% of the time. She objected, noting that I make more money than her. I make $4,500 take home. She makes $3,500 take home. And that she has serious financial burdens. Pays a lot monthly for a lawyer due to custody issues with her son and her son's dad, who is a diabolical boss. She said that she wants to be taken care of, etc. I pointed out that I don't mind paying a majority of the time, but it would be nice if she would just once in a while. Mind you, I oftentimes am paying for her, myself, her son, and sometimes her mom, who is disabled and lives with her. We have gotten into serious arguments because of finances lately, and I would like to know if I'm being reasonable by asking this of her. She has also made comments that because I have dollar put away in stocks, $40,000, that it's further reason for me to pay for everything. Please offer some comments, as I'm really struggling with how I'm feeling here. Edit. I want to thank everyone for their time and effort in replying and commenting. I tried to respond to most of them. I wanted to provide an update. I brought up a lot of these points with her, and she said that I've made her feel uncomfortable about money from date 3 onwards. That my behavior when the check comes makes her feel awkward. I also oftentimes ask her to guess how much the bill was, and I truly didn't know this made her feel shitty about it. She also pointed out that she sometimes cooks meals for us at home. But it's not specifically for me and her. She cooks for the family and invites me over, and justified that as her spending money on me. I think I can count on 2 hands the number of times she has cooked and invited me over. Any other comments and insight here would greatly help me validate how I am feeling right now and what my next step should be here, though I think I already know what to do. Dude, tell her you will no longer be going out to restaurants for dates because you can no longer afford it. I guarantee she will dump you and find someone else to use. She's taking advantage of you and seems to feel entitled to your money. Do you really want to be with someone who places so much of the value she has in you based on how much money you have? It's frankly disgusting. Her monthly expenses have nothing to do with her desire to be taken care of. She could out-earn you and still want you to take care of her. Suggest she start dating an actual ATM, as that's what she seems to want from you. My brother in Christ, you are not this woman's partner. You are her and her family's wallet. Might be time to cut your losses and bounce. She wants to be taken care of and thinks she is entitled to your money because you have savings. She is telling you exactly who she is and what she expects. And, as you said, you have to take into account her dependents, kid and mom, when it comes to spending. So she obviously feels you should be paying for them as well. Where do you see this going? If she, her kid and her mother ever move in with you, do you think she's going to magically start paying her share? What are the odds that you'll end up supporting her, her child and her mom to at least some degree? It's only been a year and she's already fighting with you about her right to your money. My best friend thinks me, 18F, and him, 18M, are dating. My best friend has known me for a little over 3 years now, and we met each other from my sister. Now we are sort of close. For example, if something is bothering him and if he wants to tell someone about it, he normally tells me, and I do the same as we both have trouble talking about our problems. However, just recently, he told me how he likes me and has for quite a while now, but I don't like him like that and have always seen him as an older brother. Suddenly, when I turned him down, he started to call me baby or babe. Just the ordinary names you would call your partner. I told him I was uncomfortable with that, and he got mad. I have tried telling him on multiple occasions that we aren't dating, but he won't listen to me, or he shuts me down and ignores me for around an hour. He will also say things like I love you and will wait until I say it, but I obviously don't say it back, which he gets annoyed about and will start saying, "Wow, I can't believe you seriously don't love me." On some days, he'll just look at me and say, "You should put some weight on." I don't want a skeleton for a girlfriend. This has put me down a lot since I've been struggling recently with my eating, and he knows I have due to mental health. There's been a couple of times when we're watching TV or just chilling when he's at my house that he'll just randomly say, "I can't live without you," and "I'll probably just off myself if you leave me." At this point, I don't know whether to cut all contact from him or to just ignore him or possibly something else. If any of you have any ideas, since he is affecting my mental health a lot now and I can't let this carry on for any longer either. Holy shish tea, please cut contact with him. Y'all aren't even actually dating and he's already showing signs of being psychologically abusive and he's pressuring you and basically forcing you into being with him romantically. Please get away before it worsens to something like Saw. Time to end the friendship. He is pushing your boundaries. That's reason enough to end the friendship. If you want to try to salvage the friendship, I recommend having an honest conversation with him, and telling him that if he doesn't stop treating you like his girlfriend, you won't be his friend anymore. And honestly, given the fact that he wants more than friendship, the friendship is kinda over anyway. Cut contact. He's completely ignoring reality for his own desires, and it's going to get worse if you don't get away from him. After all, if he believes he's your boyfriend, what other boyfriend things do you think he'll feel entitled to do? If he threatens to off himself, tell his family, call the emergency lines for a wellness check, tell people who can check on him. Odds are he's not going to do it, and if he is, he'll have other people to stop him. Oh baby girl, you need to cut this off immediately. That is unhinged behavior, and if you allow it to continue, who knows where it goes.